This is Michael Kowalski, writer and performer of Mothman, True Story, and you are listening to the Unbelievers Podcast. I know you wouldn't like it.
There were several groups. One of the principal ones was the reptilians from the Orion complex.
Without any exaggeration, it was like being on fire inside.
Rats were eating you up inside.
This stuff was in my mouth. It felt like it was 500 degrees. It was unbelievably hot.
My first question would be, were you a member of the Church of Satan, a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan? I don't understand.
There's always an argument for everything. You know, just because somebody can fake something doesn't necessarily mean it's real.
And we found a life form. And that's when I started shitting my pants.
So for the person who called, I am carrying an alien.
An alien baby. We covered right here, okay?
Okay.
Something is happening. What is it? That's the question. So do UFOs exist? It depends on what you mean exist.
Channeling, the new age art of shifting one's mind and mental space to allow another entity to enter your body and speak through you. To achieve such a feat requires years of meditation and study, and sometimes can be the result of direct contact with alien life forms. But it's not just aliens that are coming through these ascended people. Some, like Jay-Z Knight, can channel an ancient warrior, or Jennifer Whisper, who channeled dead celebrities and composers. Well, tonight, the Unbelievers Podcast is back with even more remarkable individuals in this world as we discuss 3 more unbelievable entities and the flesh prisons that allow them to access our world. Are these channelers for real? Will there be funny noises? Is it possible to learn this power? We'll take a deep breath, a lot of them, and make some weird sounds, because it's time for Famous Channelers. Right here on the program, we continue to learn to unlearn everything you know. Hello and welcome to the Unbelievers Podcast. I'm your host, Rus Ryan, and joining me tonight, as always, is my co-host in California, Drea Mora. Hello, Drea.
Hi.
And in West Virginia, TV's Brendan Shay. Hey, Brendan.
Hey, hey, hey.
And in New York City, our soundboard engineer and producer, Rob Okey.
Alamosa, Colorado 1. Is that understood,
Understood, yes.
What's up, guys? Yes.
Yes, understood. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Thanks, Brendan, for joining us again. It's good to have you back.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I'm not going anywhere, so, I'm stuck in the house.
Oh, I hope you're not going anywhere.
This is co-host season for us. Everyone's available as late as we want to do it. It's great. But no, it is good to have you back, Brendan. You know, you're always known for being on Serial Spirit and, being a ghost hunter. So I don't like to pigeonhole you as just the ghost guy or the disgusting murder guy. So I try to bring you on for some other fun stuff. And we've done stuff that's not in your realm. And tonight, this is going to be a fun one. Brendan, we're doing famous channelers. You like channelers?
I love channelers. Love them. Love them.
All right. Well, we'll save the disgusting murders, and we will. And go listen to his show to hear the spooks tonight, because it is time for the Unbelievers Podcast, Famous Channelers.
I painted a rainbow here in the sky, a rainbow to show you that love never dies. You can see pinks and yellows.
Yeah, a little Jennifer Whisper, one of our favorite famous channelers. But tonight, we are going to be keeping it a little lighter. We're keeping it positive, and we're going to do a topic that really fascinates me, and that is the world of channelers and maybe one psychic. And this is a subject that we have not delved into very much. Jay-Z Knight and Ramtha, I think that's the only channeler of note that we've discussed, right, Drea?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's about it.
What about Sylvia Brown?
Well, she's not really a channeler,
more of a psychic.
right?
Yeah, I don't think she's really channeling anything. But both of those, even if you put that in there, both of them really negative. Like, for being such positive people, both of them were very depressing in the end.
I never really considered Sylvia Brown as a very positive person. For one.
No, Jay-Z Knight either. We gotta clear up the name of channelers. That's what we're gonna do. And what is a channeler? A channeler, that's an individual that acts as a vessel for another consciousness to communicate. And it could be an alien, a human who's passed on. It could be Mother Nature. It could be something from another dimension or a manifestation of almost anything can be channeled. We're gonna learn. Lots of stuff coming in on the human airwaves, and we're going to talk about our first one for tonight, and that is a woman named Esther Hicks, who channels an entity called Abraham. And what is Abraham? And this is from their website. I'm going to tell you. This is the description of Abraham. Abraham is a name, a symbol, a feeling, evocative, yet simple like we want our names to be. But who or what is our Abraham really? Very confusing from the start. It's evocative, though. We know that. Simple.
Sure.
That was just a riddle. That wasn't like any sort of an explanation.
No, that just evokes frustration for me.
So let's learn some more. Abraham has described themselves as a group consciousness from the non-physical dimension, which helps a lot. They have also said, we are that which you are. You are the leading edge of that which we are. We are that which at the heart of all religions. See, it's actually kind of simple.
Oh, jeez.
So Abraham is more than one being.
It's all of that which we are.
Yeah.
And the edge of that.
Yeah, Abraham is confused. A lot. And Abraham now... you're going to learn. Abraham has told us through Esther, a woman named Esther Hicks, that whenever we feel moments of great love, exhilaration, pure joy, stoned out bliss, even the energy of sexual orgasm, when we feel that energy flow rushing through our bodies, that is the energy of Source, and that is who Abraham is. So you got that?
Oh, yeah, that makes so much more sense. I'm glad that that's cleared up, because I was thinking that if it joined... just a moment of bliss, like every time that you're in the bedroom and you reach climax, you just yell out Abraham. No one can get mad at you for that.
And also, they mentioned stoned out bliss. I don't know if you have to be in stoned bliss to enjoy them. Shout out to all the conjurers and stuff out there.
To all the sorcerers out there.
Sure.
Wink.
Does that make sense to you guys so far?
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay, good. Great. Well, another thing that I want to note about Abraham is that this guy, he is just a regular cut-up. Abraham, this dude loves joking around. And even in Abraham's bio on the website, they sprinkle in humor. Look, there is a joke worked in. And here is a joke from Abraham. It says, workshop attendee, and then quotes, "You're a very attractive woman, too, Abraham. We're usually a nebulous mist, so that is quite a compliment." Laughter, parentheses.
Laughter.
Glad they wrote laughter. So that's he's a fun entity. Okay, Abraham's nice.
What kind of mist is he?
Well, he says it's a joke. He is a nebulous. He's a nebulous.
Oh, nebulous.
He's
a nebulous mist.
But not, okay, yeah, well, I guess that's kind of sexy, so.
And we're going to hear more about Abraham and Esther herself, Esther Hicks, who channels as Abraham. She calls him an infinite intelligence. And to her husband, Jerry, they are, quote, the purest form of love I've ever experienced. Her teachings are known as the Abraham Hicks teachings, and they're based on his experience. The basic tenets of the teachings include one that says that people create their own reality through their attention and focus. Emotions or a person's guidance system that indicates how close or distant that person is, how their source feels about a particular topic of focus, and that life is meant to be fun and easy. Does that sound so bad?
No, that sounds great. I'm just so glad that Jerry is not jealous of the Abraham Hicks connection that's
when his wife's screaming out, "Oh, Abraham!"
He's like, "No, me too, honey, me too." They both scream out Abraham.
Yeah, he's got his stoned out bliss, Jerry guy. He's fine, and that's their whole message is that basically life is meant to be fun and easy. So let's get on board with this. This is what we need right now. So we're gonna hear now the channeling of Abraham. That's the best part of all the channelers when they're getting them up there. This is by this woman, Mrs. Esther Hicks.
This is really a nice day the way it's unfolding. Would you bring Esther back up again and she'll bring Abraham back up again?
And are you refreshed? Good. Now what? We're going to have a very good time today. Stand if you think it's you. Further back, you. It's a little like whack-a-mole.
All right, Abraham has just arrived on the scene, crushing, as you can hear. People love it. And
that's what Abraham sounds like? He sounds like
I thought that was just Esther. Oh, okay.
She's pretty good. She does that one breath, and then boom, Abraham can come out. And I'll describe a little what's going on there. Esther, she's brought on. She channels entity Abraham, and immediately he wants to pick someone, like, I don't know, to read their thing or to ask a question or play a game with. I'm not sure what they're doing, but people's heads are just popping up randomly in this crowd. Like one guy stands up, so this whack-a-mole reference by a galactic being or whatever Abraham is, a collective consciousness. At least he knows his whack-a-mole.
Yeah, right. I have to wonder then at that point, when people are channeling a certain entity and they make references that the entity shouldn't really know about, maybe they are picking it up from the brain of the channeler.
Does this imply Does this imply that Abraham has played whack-a-mole before? Has gone to like a Dave and Buster's?
his name's Abraham. I mean, it's Abraham. I mean, that doesn't sound nebulous.
No, you're right. That's true.
I'm trying to think where you would do a reading that would have a whack-a-mole. I was going to say in Vegas, but I don't think casinos have whack-a-mole. I think you can bet on it.
No, I think Rob's right. It's probably a Dave and Buster's.
No, yeah. Abraham is Abraham is not doing kids parties.
Maybe he bounces around, and at some point he was in a kid. That sounds so wrong. That sounds really wrong.
Yeah,
maybe at some point though he played whack-a-mole. I'll go with that. That's better.
Well, like I said, I'm pretty sure he just Esther has played whack-a-mole, and so. He's in her mind, like he's going through her consciousness, right? Like through her body. Maybe he's picking up on some of her experiences.
You're right. It was probably just Esther whacking the mole.
That's such a good cop-out.
They finished the whack-a-mole easy because he picks a person amongst those many moles, and they do get to talk, but not before the immortal being Abraham describes what whack-a-mole is, to shut y'all up.
There is an amusement park game where everyone stands up and you try to, which is not our intention at all.
If you would have told me that I'd be here 5 years ago, it's totally impossible.
You should hear the way Esther tells the story.
See, Abraham is all about the fun. I don't know why that's so funny, but everyone loved that.
Yeah, is he like funnier than Esther is?
He's playing. This guy is like a straight man to her, but all she's doing is, Abraham. He is having people from the crowd come up, and they get to ask questions and kind of hang out. So once the audience collects himself from that great gag, that gentleman from the audience, he asks this of Abraham.
I totally agree with everything that you teach, and it's really changing my life. And I don't know if this is a question or a comment. I just don't get the whole channeling thing. I just don't get it. I'm like, everything is tremendous teaching, but when it comes to the channeling, I'm like, I get lost.
Well, actually, it's a good thing that you don't, in this sense. We don't want it to be something so unusual either, because the fact is, everyone who you see around you is an extension of source energy. And everyone has access to this broader knowing.
All right, she goes on for like another 5 minutes. This is kind of a deal. This isn't the funniest stuff. He has to go up and ask something serious. But the point being that Esther, much like everyone there, they're tapping into their source energy, and that's how she could view the whole concept of channeling. She's being challenged early on just on the concept of channeling, but he loves everything else.
Yeah.
I like that at least there's like someone who's thinking about that in the crowd. There's someone who's a little bit skeptical. They're not just a bunch of brainwashed zombies
about it. Yes.
No,
they're not just coming out like being an asshole. They're like, oh, seriously, like, could you explain that for me?
I don't think any of them are really acting like zombies. This is for like a channeling crowd. I mean, they look pretty legit.
Do you remember the people who would answer Indeed all the time? Like, they were like zombies.
Oh,
they
God,
were like mentally trained to just like respond to certain things in the speeches and shit.
It's like a fan club.
Yeah, it was like a weird zombie thing. That's why I thought of that.
What I still can't get over, though, is the fact that she is just talking, or he's just talking in a normal voice. Most of the channelers I heard at least change their voice and try to disguise it in some way, but it's just her. It's just normal voice, normal Esther.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that was an accent that she was putting on, or if that's just how she talks. We don't know.
Esther's pro. She's
very
pro.
Little
so
effort.
So is Abraham.
So this guy, I guess he's figured it out now, and he gets to ask another question about where does Esther go when Abraham is there? It's a good question, and they just tell him, she's still in there, she's fine, and they close out with some nice words for Esther, the host body. They give her a nice compliment. Let's hear about that.